Okay, folks, here I am in Farmingdale on the Long Island Railroad main line, the electrified portion of the Ronkonkoma service, where lots of trains go through during the rush hour. Going to spend some time getting all kinds of MU trains, fast and slow here. And I'm going to try doing more stand-ups. I mean, Danny Harmon of Distant Signal Productions does them all the time, and he's about my age. So why can't I do it if he can do it so well? I'm not as good looking as he is, but I think I'm as articulate and as well spoken as he is. I know he had a career in radio and he has a great radio voice. I used to DJ in my college radio station, and a lot of people have said that I have a good voice for radio, so I'm starting to believe them. So hey, let's do it. We're going to get the action here. We got all kinds of MUs to expect, from the Bud M3s built in the 1980s that rail fans love and employees hate, M7s and M9s. And this is a very entertaining place, and Farmingdale is a wonderful town full of lots of shops and restaurants. One of the better places to rail fan on the main line to Ronkonkoma. Station, which was built in 1890, actually was built in 1841 and rebuilt in 1875 and 1890. The station was electrified in 1987. It was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1991. And this is a very busy stop. It served people going to the U.S. Open in 2002 and 2009. And arriving westbound into the station at Farmingdale is train 1965 en route from Ronkonkoma to Penn Station with a set of Bombardier M7s. And we see the train pulling out over the Secretog Avenue crossing, and he's got to blow his horn for 3 more crossings before he gets out of town. Lots of horn action in this town. And soon after arriving from Penn Station, New York, is train 1960, bound for Ronkonkoma, coming into the station at Farmingdale. Well, close behind is train 2062, an express train from Grand Central to Ronkonkoma, but he's not going to be going very fast through here with 1960 kind of close ahead there. Yeah, these houses are pretty close to the action here. I honestly don't know how these people can sleep at night. And one of the great places to have breakfast is Grandma's Kitchen in Farmingdale. I'm told that the pancakes and the hash browns are out of this world. You're looking at the Melville Road crossing, and to the east you have Main Street, Elizabeth Street, and Secretog Avenue. Crossing Great Alley in this town of railroad crossings. Well, Well, arriving now is train 2064 en route from Grand Central to Ronkonkoma, passing over the Melville Road crossing in Farmingdale. The first crossing you hit coming from the city. This next train arriving is train 2152 with a set of Kawasaki M9s. He's en route from Grand Central to Farmingdale. Once he drops off his passengers, he will deadhead to Ronkonkoma. Well, departing westbound, passing all the railroad crossings, is train 1965, en route from Ronkonkoma to Penn Station, New York. Well, in the background is train 1962, an express from Penn Station to Ronkonkoma, slowed down in its tracks because 2064 is not that far ahead. A lot of these expresses have a tendency to go slow through here because they catch up to locals a lot. All right, approaching now is train 1056 from Penn Station to Ronkonkoma. Local train with those 1980s built Bud M3s, piloted by engineer Flyin' Ryan. During the evening rush hour on the Ronkonkoma line, 1 or 2 and sometimes 3 trains run with M3s. Well, 1056 leads a quadfecta of trains heading out towards Brentwood and Ronkonkoma. Next is this 2066 Grand Central Ronkonkoma, 1058 Grand Central Brentwood, and 1964 Penn Station to Ronkonkoma. Very close together, those trains. With Croxley's Ale House in the background, the gates are going down on Main Street for 1058 Grand Central to Brentwood. Those M7s as well as the M3s have Leslie RS2M horns. Well, right behind is train 1964, an express from Penn Station to Ronkonkoma. His next stop is Brentwood after Jamaica. I don't know the exact address of this house, but I'm quite sure if it was sold, it could be sold quite cheaply, as 1967 pulls by close at hand from Farmingdale to Penn Station, New York. At the east end of the platform at Farmingdale, you see what seems to be sprouting like weeds on the main line are these reduced aspect signals. They don't show nearly as many aspects or indications as the larger signals do, and that signal bridge had position lights taken down in 2019. Well, approaching is train 1060 en route from Penn Station to Brentwood with a brace of Bombardier M7s. These Bombardier M7 cars have 8 Mitsubishi 270 horsepower, 200 kilowatt, 3-phase AC traction motors. They can accelerate at 2 miles per hour per second and decelerate at 3 miles per hour per second. Each unit of 2 cars has up to 2,100 horsepower, more than that of a GP38-2. You see him passing under the old signal bridge and going over farm interlocking. Well, here comes train 2063 en route from Ronkonkoma to Grand Central Terminal, coming in with a 12-car train. Well, approaching now is train 2068 from Grand Central to Ronkonkoma. Its schedule most replicates the old Ronkonkoma rocket that ran from Penn Station to Ronkonkoma. This is probably the fastest train on the route, making the fewest stops like the old rocket did. The gates are going down on Secretog Avenue for train 1062 from Penn Station to Ronkonkoma with a brace of M7s rushing into his Farmingdale stop. Next up, we have an eastbound train 1966 made of a brace of Bud-built 1980s M3 cars. And he was flying. And I noticed a rail fan up front waving at me riding shotgun. Last train, we get train 1969 departing town for Penn Station. Blowing for the crossings at Farmingdale. If you like horns and good action, Farmingdale's a great place to be. Well, folks, you can see what an interesting place Farmingdale is to watch trains. Busy town, nice area, lots of photo angles here, and you're really close to the action, whether you're a rail fan or a resident. But Farmingdale provides great entertainment. Trains are flying through. That last M3 was really ripping, and this is the place to be if you want to go to a nice place on the Ronkonkoma Electric Line, get some food and spirits and great train watching. So goodbye for now.